Wife yangu anatoka Matungu.
Okay.
One wife.
Let me acha nikuulize sana. Waluya no wangajua ya mila ama mapenzi.
So mimi
Good question.
Mila inahitaji. Mila yetu huwezi chaguliwa kama una bibi.
In fact, it's a political move. Kuna mtu aliuliza unashindanga arguments zote kwa TV na home.
Unajua wife yangu ni wakili.
Both of you are lawyers.
In the noisy and dramatic world of Kenyan politics, few voices have been seen sharp, fearless, and not a mistake as that of Edwin Sifuna. To some, he is a fierce defender of the opposition. To others, he is fearless debater who never backs down from a political fight. As the Secretary General of the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM party, Sifuna became one of the most visible faces of the party, appearing in television debates, political rallies, and the national conversations. He also became a key voice in mobilization campaigns such as the Linda Mwananchi tours, movements aimed at defending democracy and the citizen rights. But politics is never simple. In 2026, the political ground shifted dramatically when internal party disputes led to attempts to remove Sifuna from the position of the ODM Secretary General, a move that shook Kenya's political scene and revealed deep divisions within the ODM party. Yet behind the cameras, behind the microphones, and behind the fiery speeches is a quiet story. A story not just about a politician, but about a woman who rarely appears in public, rarely seeks the spotlight, and yet has been one of the most important pillars in Sifuna'S life. Her name is Didi Wamkoya, and this is the story of the woman behind the voice. To be able to understand Edwin Sifuna'S journey, we must first understand the path that shaped him. Born and raised in Kenya, Sifuna built his career as a lawyer before stepping into politics. Like many young leaders inspired by reform movements, he was drawn to the political ideals championed by veteran opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga. Under Odinga's influence, Sifuna became one of the new generation of ODM leaders, articulate, energetic, and willing to challenge the political establishment. His rise was fast. By his mid-30s, he had become the SG of the ODM, one of the most powerful positions in the party. The job placed him at the center of the national politics. Television debates, street protests, political rallies across the country, and during the moments of intense national debate, Sifuna was often the man sent to defend the party. But his public profile grew. One aspect of his life remained carefree guarded. One and only his family. Long before the political limelight, there was a simple campus love story. Edwin Sifuna met his future wife Didi Wamkoya during their university days at the University of Nairobi. At that time, both were pursuing careers in law. What began as friendship slowly grew into a relationship that would later shape both of their lives. Didi came from a politically aware background. She is the daughter of the former Mtungu Member of Parliament Joseph Wamkoya, a prominent Kenyan politician who once served as a Minister of Lands. Growing up in the Nairobi leafy suburbs, Didi was exposed to leadership, governance, and the public service from an early age. But despite her family background, she did not choose politics. She chose the law, and later she chose something even more demanding: environmental justice and wildlife protection. Where Edwin Sifuna would later become famous in politics, his wife quietly built an impressive career of her own. Didi Wamkoya is a lawyer and environmental specialist. She holds a Bachelor of Laws degree and later earned a Master's degree in environmental law. But she did not stop there. She also trained at the Kenya School of Law, qualifying as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Her passion, however, was wildlife conservation and environmental justice. Didi joined the KWS, where she worked in a wildlife crime prosecution. This work placed her at the front line, of protecting Kenya's natural heritage. Wildlife crimes such as poaching and illegal trafficking are serious threats to conservation across Africa, and the prosecutors like Didi play a critical role in ensuring that criminals are held accountable. Over time, she helped strengthen legal frameworks that treat wildlife crimes as a serious offenses rather than minor infractions. She even participated in training programs for investigators, prosecutors, and judicial officers across Africa to improve the wildlife law enforcement. In short, she was not simply a politician's wife, she was a professional leader in her own way. In interviews, Edwin Sifuna has often spoken about his wife with deep admiration. In other memorable conversations, he joked that he does not argue with her at home, not because he cannot, but because she is more smarter than him. According to Sifuna, his wife holds a master's degree, while he does not, and in debates at home, she often wins. But beyond the humor lies a deeper truth. Politics is a stressful life. It comes with attacks, criticism, and constant pressure. And all through it all, Sifuna says his wife has remained his anchor, a stable partner, a calm voice when the world around him becomes chaotic. In his own words, every man needs someone who remains strong when the storms of life arrive. And for him, that person has always been Didi Wamkoya. One story Sifuna once told about his wife surprised many Kenyans. During their relationship, Didi decided to undergo paramilitary ranger training with the Kenya Wildlife Service. The training took place in Mwananchi, one of the toughest wildlife ranger training camps in the country. When she returned, Sifuna hardly recognized her. The one soft-spoken woman he knew had become tougher, stronger, and more disciplined. She had endured months of physical training, learning survival skills, wildlife protection tactics, and even firearm handling. Sifuna jokingly said that because she knows how to use a gun, is careful not to argue with her too much at home. But beneath the joke is admiration, because courage comes in many forms, and Didi had shown hers long before her husband became a national political figure. In 2015, Sifuna and Didi Wamkoyo formally married. The union marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. Soon after, they welcomed a daughter, adding another layer of responsibility to their already demanding careers. Despite Sifuna'S political fame, the couple had made a deliberate decision. They would keep their family life private. Unlike many politicians who constantly display their families in public, Sifuna rarely brings his wife into political events. In fact, many Kenyans have only seen the couple together on very few occasions, such when he received his election certificate after winning the Nairobi Senate seat. For them, privacy is protection from the harsh and often unforgiving world of politics. Behind every public figure is a private reality. While Edwin Sifuna faces the cameras and microphones, his wife remains legally and largely behind the scenes, yet her influence is undeniable. She has been described as his accountability partner, someone who helps him stay grounded despite political power. She is also known for her financial discipline, something Sifuna himself has openly praised. In many ways, their personalities complement each other. While Sifuna is the spoken politician, Didi is the calm, analytical lawyer. One thrives in the public arena, the other prefers quiet impact through law and conservation. Together, they form a balance. It will talk about the fiery lawyer who rose to become Secretary General of one of the Kenya's most influential political parties. It will analyze his role in the opposition, his fights in parliament, his campaigns across the country. But behind that story is another one, a quiet one, the story of a woman who chose law over fame, service over publicity, and the strength over attention. A wildlife lawyer, a conservation advocate, a mother, and a woman who stood beside one of the Kenya's most outspoken politicians. And in many ways, she's the silent strength behind the voice of Edwin Sifuna.